Yay, awesome. We are live. Yay, cool. So welcome everyone. We are doing quarantine quarters once again. Maddie is on, and we are going to be doing a quick little rundown as usual, and then we'll be getting started with reading the plays. So,
All right, I'm
Jack,
here.
yeah.
Just wanted to make sure that we were live and working. Just a reminder to our actors, make sure you click the little mute button so that we can't hear you moving around as we start going today. My name is Madison Sedler. I am one of the co-founders of Green Buffalo Productions. My other co-founder, Ellen Shearer, couldn't be with us today. She is hanging out with family tonight. So me and Layla have got it locked in and we're ready to go, along with Zach, our pretty cool video guy. That being said, we're so grateful to have Layla Gentil, who is here with me today. Our first board member, actor, playwright, director, does it all. Truly one of the greatest people that we have met since we started Green Buffalo a couple years ago, has been with us since literally day one. Just what a person, what a great person who works with us. And Zach Hattrick also has been here since one of our very first events, our pretty cool video guy, playwright, director, and actor here in Buffalo in Western New York. Really, we couldn't do anything that we do without both of you. So thank you again for doing this with us, even though I know we're all super busy getting ready for our spooky One Act Play Festival or Film Festival this year, which is going to be very new and different. And Layla will talk about that in a little bit. I've just got some general housekeeping things I want to go over before we really get into these plays. So the first thing is first, Green Buffalo's Patreon is live. We went live a couple months ago, and we have since gained quite a few patrons that I want to shout out today in between a lot of our readings. Our Patreon it's a way that you can donate to Green Buffalo if you like what we do or want to support a local group in Buffalo. You can sign up for our Patreon. There are different tiers that you can come in on, from $5 to $100. Anything in between, and every little bit helps. So I did want to shout out to some of the people that have donated to us. This includes Catherine Schwebka, Ryan Schlia, Wayne Conover, Sean Cheeky, Leslie Cairns, Sarah Henderson, and our two newest patrons, Zoe Curiazis and Deanna Hariluk. Because of them during this pandemic, we've been able to not only secure funds for ourselves to keep everything running and up to date, but to pay for storage spaces, to be able to pay our actors in the future a decent wage, as well as really secure our season for next year, which will be coming up with an open slot in March, Treading Water in June, and Wandering Through Wonderland sometime in July or August. We're really looking forward to bringing those shows to you next year, since we weren't able to do them this year. That being said, I'll move on from that for now, but some of the perks that you get, I wanted to talk about really quickly with our Patreon. We have an upcoming play that was written for our quarantine quarters called The Magic Skull by Sean Cheeky, that we will be releasing to our patrons at a $5 or $10 level. This is a very meta piece that we're going to be filming and speaking and doing animation for. It's going to be a really fun experience for people to just watch, and it's kind of it's a fun way to get a look into our humor as Green Buffalo, for sure. Our wonderful, talented poets, Layla and Ellen, have been writing poems and sending them out as postcards, and that's at a higher Patreon level. And then last but not least, that I wanted to talk a little bit about, was at the $5 level, not only do you receive a shout out in our program or in our quarantine quarters, which we do every week or every other week, but also we have a new show, Almost Paradise, written by myself, that we're going to be releasing exclusively to Patreon as well, and that's at the $5 level. It'll be a 12 episode arc that kind of takes place on a deserted island with the format of The Bachelor, where people start to disappear off the island. So there are still 15 parts opened and available for females anywhere within the age range of 18 to like mid 30s. I really am looking for a diverse group of women to play roles that are small, roles that are very large, roles that are kind of somewhere in the middle, and with personalities all over the place. You'd need to be available to do not only the recording in Buffalo, but we also do some fun extra Patreon stuff with these that we would need you for. But I am still looking for people. And if you'd like to be on that list of people that I am looking at to cast, please send me an email at greenbuffaloproductions@gmail.com with the subject line Almost Paradise. And I'd be more than happy to talk about setting up some time just to listen to you and see where you could fit into our new fun little thing. Unfortunately, only female parts are available. We've cast all the men, but there's 35 women in this show, 39 parts total. So it's been really very fun to write, and I'm still working on it, but we're getting there. We're coming to the end of the writing process, so that's very exciting. So the next thing we wanted to discuss, and we just wanted to make sure that our stance is out there. We wanted to talk a little bit about Black Lives Matter. Just because the topic isn't trending doesn't mean it goes away. We have a couple of resources we wanted to share with you, and we'll put them in the comments. When I'm done giving my spiel, I'll put everything in the comments for you. But we wanted to shout out a couple of different organizations that have to do with Black Lives Matter, such as the ACLU, the NAACP Legal Defense Fund, the Black Lives Matter of Buffalo, that's a Facebook group that I'll post in our comments, as well as Black Love Resist in the Rust, which is another Facebook group that I will put on our comments that is based in Buffalo, New York. So if you're looking to get involved or if you want to donate anywhere, we can hook you up with some of these different resources. And that moves kind of into what our next piece is going to be. We have a show slated to go up, not 2021, but 2022, called What It Means to Be Human, which follows the same format as the Vagina Monologues. We're really, really excited about this show. Ellen and I actually met in the Vagina Monologues. So we're really thrilled to be bringing something that was so close to our hearts to the Buffalo community and to kind of update what the Vagina Monologues kind of is. We have writing positions open for that, and the next deadline is September 30th. We're looking for all sorts of different kinds of submissions. They can be poems, monologues, choreographed dances, music, visual arts of any kind, anything that would be considered a performative art form that we would put on the stage. We are looking to add it into this show to really make it as inclusive as possible. Some of the topics we're still looking for with the submission would have to deal with poverty, race, sexual orientation, healthcare, health insurance, gender-based violence, addiction, sexism, mental illness, violence of any kind, just kind of any sort of thing that as humans we experience. Now, these pieces don't all have to be like crazy dramatic, but we are looking for some comedic pieces as well, or some lighter pieces. But we are still open to pretty much anything that you guys want to talk about. So if you are interested in that, email us at greenbuffaloproductions@gmail.com with the subject line human, and we can always discuss that further. I will be putting links in the comments in a little bit when I'm done. But I'm going to stop talking now and let Layla talk a little bit about our full-length play submissions that we have open right now.
Absolutely. So we do have, Maddie mentioned earlier, we do have an open play slot for the March performance in 2021. Knock on wood, hopefully we'll be able to put up plays. And if so, we are looking for a full-length play submission. We are looking for women, people of color, people across the spectrum, sexuality, to send in your full-length plays. We are absolutely interested in producing your work, and we definitely want to, see if we can put it on stage and work with you with that, which kind of leads us into other work that we've been doing with an amazing group called the Buffalo Theater Workshop. For the submissions of the full-length plays, please email greenbuffaloproductions@gmail.com to submit your plays. But if you are
form on our website now that you can fill out, that all you have to do is submit your best 10 pages and we'll read them.
That's a
fun fact.
I forgot about that. That's true. On the website, you can submit your best 10 pages. So definitely check that out. Also, this August 11th, at 6:30 p.m., we are doing a reading of Sellouts, written by Richard Steele. This is through the Buffalo Theater Workshop, which Maddie, Ellen, and I are moderators on. The Buffalo Theater Workshop is a group that was started by Emma English, who's a wonderful woman who looked at the Buffalo theater scene and realized that there wasn't really a workshop space for new plays, be they short, long, or even film. So she created this group as a way to read plays, get feedback on them from both the actors and the readers. And so it enables you as an artist to grow, see what may or may not be working with your play. And I directly used this. I was one of the playwrights that got selected for a short one-act play fest, and the feedback that I got from that play festival actually encouraged me to write a full-length play based off of it. So it's a really great resource, because there are times where you have no idea what's wrong with the play. You just need someone to read it out loud, and then you're like, oh, no human talks like that. Cool. So it's a really, really great resource through the Buffalo Theater Workshop. And like the full-length plays that we were calling out for, if you have a full-length play but you're not sure it works right, or you still want to make some edits to it, consider submitting it to the Buffalo Theater Workshop. We could work on it, and then it could eventually maybe get produced by us, Green Buffalo Productions. So absolutely consider that. And now for a completely different topic, but something that we are also very, very excited about, our spooky one-acts live again. We were worried that this year, due to coronavirus, that we might have to cancel one of our favorite events that we do, but thankfully it is now going to be the Spooky Film Festival. So all of our submissions have happened. We announced our winners, and we will be actually starting to film our spooky short films. And once those are all filmed and edited, we will start releasing them in October. If you loved our first two spooky one-acts, or this is your first time listening and you never seen them, well, you don't have to come all the way to Buffalo to see it, because they are going to be filmed. If you're interested, want to know more, definitely reach out to us. But we are really excited that we can still do this amazing event even with everything that's going on. We are going to be absolutely safe and take all the precautions we need on set while we're filming. We're happy that we can still do it. And I believe that's everything. So without further ado, I'm going to get started on our first play. I will be reading the stage directions for Someday I Suppose, and then I need Ellie, Piper, and Adrian. So that will be Katerina, Emily, and Sherry. Just checking and making sure that we are all unmuted.
I believe it's me, Emily.
Oh, it's you. I'm sorry, I'm the worst. Okay, so it's you, Maddie. Okay, I'm gonna get started. So, at Rise, the stage is empty, the lights off. Just off stage in the shadows, three figures can be seen rustling in some bushes. Ellie, Piper, and Adrian are making their way to the clearing. Ellie carries a small purse and wears a baseball cap, her hair tied up beneath it. Piper wears a backpack slung over one shoulder. A muffled chorus of, "Hey, watch it," and "Shh," can be heard from them.
Ow! What was that?
Shh, if my parents wake up, we are so dead.
Just watch where you're going.
Piper, why haven't your parents cleared this walkway? There are like a million bushes in the way of the garden.
Why don't you just ask them yourself when your yapping wakes them up?
After all this time, how are we still forgetting to bring flashlights?
As long as you don't forget the beers.
Why do you think I have my backpack?
Only one of us ever forgot the beers, and it wasn't Piper.
Excuse me?
Oh, look, we made it!
Piper, Ellie, and Adrian emerge from the overgrown path and head towards the clearing. Adrian turns on a lantern that hangs from a low tree branch, illuminating the stage. Ellie shrugs off her purse and flops onto her back in the grass, while Piper sits across from her. She begins unzipping her backpack and pulls out 3 cans of beer, which he distributes as Adrian sits down between them.
Okay, we seriously cannot get caught out here. I promised my mom no shenanigans the night before graduation.
Doesn't she know us better than that by now?
She said, and I quote, "Piper Louise Smithson, if I hear one complaint about how tired you are tomorrow, I will personally revoke your diploma."
That's not how diplomas work.
Did you want to try telling her that?
Mama Smithson will never find out. We'll have 1 beer.
Quietly.
Yes, 1 quiet beer, then call it a night. Now.
Ellie raises her can... Sorry. Ellie raises her can of beer up.
To graduation eve.
The future.
To friends.
The girls clink their beer cans together as a cheers before each taking a sip. A pause. Each person lost in their own thoughts for a moment.
How many times do you think we've snuck out here? What, 100?
Oh, 1,000,000.
Still remember the first time you took us back here.
It was like our second time ever all hanging out, right?
Yeah, you woke us up at what? Midnight?
I thought you were bringing us out here to murder us.
What? Why?
This place does have slight murder vibes.
Total murder vibes.
No way.
Yes.
Yes way.
This is nice. The 3 musketeers together. I can't believe the next time we do this, it'll be Thanksgiving break.
Unless you plan to transport this place to Florida, it's going to be way too cold to sit outside at Thanksgiving time.
Ew, Florida?
What's wrong with Florida?
It's like the herpes of states.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it does.
Forget it. It was an example. Substitute it for any other warm state and...
North Carolina. I like that one.
It's literally not the point. Oh my God, you're so...
Geniuses, lower your voices. It's like you want to wake my parents up. The garden stays here, and it stays our spot, and every college break we're going to come back and spend all night catching up, even if we do it in snow parkas.
Sure, Piper. Of course.
Yeah, by then we'll have fake IDs, so we won't even need to sneak beer from your dad's garage.
I can't believe he's never caught on. Do you think he's known all along and just doesn't say anything?
No, we're just good at being sneaky.
Speaking of sneaky, are you going to take off the hat?
Seriously, what are you hiding under there?
I was going to wait until tomorrow morning to reveal this, but ta-da!
With a grand flourish, Ellie pulls the baseball cap off and shakes out her long hair. It's dyed a bright neon shade of turquoise.
Holy shit.
Surprise!
Dude, that is...
Awesome, right? It was my graduation gift to myself.
Does your mom know?
I mean, not yet. I told you, it's a surprise. You like it though, right?
Of course. It's very fun.
What do you think, Adri?
Yeah, it's definitely, it looks... Okay, no, I can't lie to you. It looks weird. I literally need sunglasses to look at you with that hair. Was it supposed to be so bright?
Adrian?
That's not what literally means.
Would you have rather I lied to you?
Wouldn't be the first time, I bet.
Oh, please. How many lies have you told us? You've bailed on us almost every time we've hung out this year.
Maybe that's because when you talk, I just want to vomit.
When you talk, I just want to punch you.
Enough! At this point, you're going to wake up the entire neighborhood.
Sorry, Piper. Maybe this was a bad idea.
Yeah, maybe we should just head back inside.
Did you hear that?
What?
Oh no, did we actually wake your parents up? Are they coming this way?
No. Did you hear what you did? You both agreed on something. See? I knew it wasn't a lost cause. Okay, this calls for a celebration. Oh man, we should have brought snacks out here.
Ellie looks behind her at the fruit trees.
I can get you one of those apples.
Oh.
I may be small with weird hair, but I'm very effective.
Ellie stands up and heads to the cluster of trees. She jumps up and grabs hold of a branch, then shimmies all the way to the top.
Oh my god, be careful.
Look, I really don't want to carry you out of here because you fall and break a leg.
Relax, I've got this.
A single apple falls to the ground. It's followed by another. Then 2 or 3 more come down, narrowly missing the girls' heads.
Whoa.
Please be careful coming down.
Yeah, do you need help?
Nope, I've got the... Oh shit. Ah!
Adrian and Piper both jump up just as Ellie jumps down, an apple in her mouth. She takes a large bite and grins at her friends while chewing.
See, I told you I was effective.
Not funny.
That was really reckless, dude. Thank God you're okay.
Oh, really? That's funny. I thought you wanted to punch me.
Okay, yeah, but I can't do that if you're in the hospital from a traumatic fall now, can I?
Piper tentatively bites into an apple.
These taste gross.
Yeah, I don't think they're actually meant for eating.
Adrian picks one up and looks at it, then starts laughing.
These are crab apples. You're not supposed to eat them raw.
Oops.
That settles it. We need chips. And maybe one more round of beers?
What happened to one quiet drink and then we go to bed?
Who was I kidding? Let's make the most of the night. You two stay here and I'll go back to get the goods. Don't kill each other while I'm gone.
With a wink, Piper leaves the other 2 girls, who have settled down back on the grass.
Good for her. I was hoping she'd learn to have more fun before we all leave school.
She has plenty of fun.
Why don't you lighten up, dude? What happened to you?
What happened to you? You're being reckless. You have been for months. And you're always disappearing, showing up late for things.
When did you become my babysitter?
Ellie runs a hand through her hair. A few trickles of blood come from a scratch on the back of her hand.
Not to sound like a babysitter again, but you're bleeding.
Shit, yeah. I thought I nicked myself on a branch on the way down.
You still carry band-aids in your purse?
No, it's fine. Just a tiny scratch. All good.
As she's speaking, Adrian has grabbed Ellie's purse from between them and begins rummaging through it. Ellie tries to scramble closer to Adrian to get it back.
What the fuck is this?
Adri, listen to me.
A needle? Tell me I'm not looking at a needle. Tell me this is one of your elaborate pranks and not what the hell I think it is.
Adrian lets Ellie's purse fall from her lap, the rest of its contents spilling out. She holds a small syringe between her thumb and forefinger.
Listen, it's not a big deal.
Not a big deal? You're using drugs?
You're sounding so dramatic right now.
You're sounding like a dumbass.
Wow. Just wow.
Ellie snatches a syringe from Adrian and throws it back into her purse, then haphazardly shoves the rest of her stuff in.
When did you start this?
Everything is fine. God, you're making such a big deal out of it.
Does Piper know?
No. You can't tell her. Look, you want to judge me, hate me? Fine. But don't break Piper's heart. She doesn't need to worry about me, and you know it.
Fine. Shitty behavior, you're going to end up all alone someday. Or even worse, dead.
Ellie gets up and storms away. Adrian looks after her for just a moment, then turns away. She brings her knees towards her chest, resting her chin on them. Curled into herself, she stays like this, silent for a few minutes. She doesn't hear or see Piper enter. Piper is now wearing a winter coat. Her gloved hands are holding 2 cans of beer. She sits down next to Adrian and hands her 1 can.
Had a feeling I'd find you out here.
Adrian takes the can of beer.
Yeah. Thanks.
Where's your coat? You've got to be freezing.
I'm fine. Really.
Piper takes off her jacket and puts it on Adrian, who doesn't continue to protest. We see Piper is wearing a thick college hoodie.
You know, it turns out you were right about it being too cold to sit here during November. You always were right about things.
I wish I wasn't.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Nothing. It's weird being here. Without her.
I know. The whole thing is, it sucks. It sucks so much, and it's too cold to cry out here. Damn it, my face is going to freeze.
Hey, come here. It's okay. No.
I'm so mad.
Me too.
It wasn't supposed to be like this.
No.
How could she be so stupid?
She just, I don't know. Maybe we could have.
Should have talked her out of going to that school.
What?
She must have met someone there who got her into it. She wouldn't have started taking that kind of shit on her own. If we just would have known. We could have done something. We could have gotten her help. Why didn't she just tell us?
Yeah. Piper?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to yell like that. I feel so helpless and guilty.
No, it's okay. I feel like that too. It's not your fault, Piper.
I know. We couldn't do anything. It's not like we even knew she had a problem. God, I'm so glad you're here. I couldn't get through this without you.
Piper chugs the rest of her beer, then leads against Adrian.
Yeah.
I guess we should go inside. We have to leave by 7 to get to church on time.
They both stand up, taking one last look around the garden before heading to the bush-covered path.
Do you think we'll ever be able to make sense of this?
Maybe. Maybe someday.
Adrian and Piper exit, fade to black besides the soft glow of the lantern. The end. Thank you so much, ladies, for reading.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Katie Schwebka, for writing that one. That was really great. Way to pull at my heartstrings. So we're going to move on to our next play called Rooftop Garden. This was written by Ruth Stanley, one of our regulars. If you are interested in writing a play, we will be doing our next quarantine quarters, not this upcoming Friday, but the Friday, or wait. Yes, we will have the prompts will be coming out this next coming Friday. So just shoot us a quick email at greenbuffaloproductions@gmail.com, and we'll be really happy to have new writers on our list. We're always looking for new writers and new actors for these. Just let us know if you're interested. So I wanted to do a quick shout out to Wayne Dunbar, who will be playing Greg, and Justin Pope, who will be playing Sean. So let's get things started, guys. Let me just make sure you guys are unmuted. Eric, if you could looking at the wrong guy. Wayne, perfect. Okay. So, lights up on Greg watering some plants on the school rooftop garden. He is peaceful in the way he moves around, like this is the most comfortable place he has ever been to. Greg is lost in his own world that he doesn't seem to notice Sean walk in. Sean stops and smiles as he watches Greg water the plants. After a few moments, Greg notices Sean and jumps slightly.
How long have you been watching me?
Just a moment. You just look so peaceful. I didn't want to interrupt you.
You can interrupt me anytime.
Sean smiles. Greg puts down the watering can and wipes his hand on his jeans.
I just have a few more things to do, and then I will be ready to go.
No rush. I don't mind waiting.
Sean sits down on the wooden bench to wait for Greg.
You want to help me finish up a few things?
Sean hesitates, unsure.
Never mind. I just thought I would offer.
No. I'll help.
Are you sure?
Yeah, but you will have to teach me everything, because I have no clue what I'm doing. I have only ever picked apples from an apple tree one time, but that's it.
Well, we don't have any trees up here, but that won't be a problem. The first thing we need to do is check the tomato plants to see if we have any new tomatoes.
Okay.
Sean looks around for a moment, but he has no idea which ones are the tomato plants.
Which ones are the tomato plants?
They're over here.
Greg and Sean walk over to stand in front of the tomato plants. Greg examines a plant before he finds a ripe cherry tomato that is ready to be picked. He picks it so he can show it to Sean.
Here. Open your palm.
Sean opens his palm and Greg drops the cherry tomato into his palm.
This is what a ripe cherry tomato looks like. So if you see any tomatoes that look like this, we need to pick them.
Okay, I can do that.
Sean starts looking at the tomato plants, looking for ripe tomatoes, while Greg goes to grab a wicker basket to place the tomatoes in.
How did you get into gardening?
I used to live on a farm, and we had a huge garden before we moved here. It was one of my favorite things. Now I live in a 2-bedroom apartment with my mom in the city. I think my mom knew I was going to have a hard time adjusting to city life, so she wrote a 20-page plan on making a rooftop garden at the high school and kept bugging the school board until they finally said yes. It started off small, but we have been able to slowly expand it every year.
What about your dad?
My parents are divorced.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I see him for 2 weeks every summer, but that's all.
It's his loss.
Silence falls between them. Sean turns his focus back to looking for a ripe tomato. Greg has picked all of the tomatoes in the basket so far. Finally, Sean finds one, and he is gleaming with pride.
I found one!
Sean plucks the tomato and shows it to Greg.
It's perfect.
Sean places the tomato in the basket, and they continue searching.
This is like trying to find a needle in a haystack. I don't want to pick one that isn't ready to be picked.
I find it relaxing.
What about next year? Who's going to take care of the garden when you go to college?
I'm sure they can find another person in the school who is interested in gardening.
What are you going to major in?
Agriculture and horticulture. I haven't decided between those two yet.
Okay, so if you were to explain what that means to a kindergartner, how would you do that?
They laugh.
I still have a lot to learn, but I just think it's important to learn how to grow your own food. It's survival, you know? Plus, I like having my hands in the dirt. It makes me feel connected to the earth.
I get that.
Greg picks up a tomato and puts it into the basket.
Okay, I think that's all the ripe tomatoes I see. Let's move on.
What's next?
How do you feel about getting dirt on your hands?
How much dirt?
Come on, I think you would look good with a little dirt on you.
You're probably right. So what are we doing?
I want to show you how to pull up carrots.
Okay.
Greg and Sean make their way over to the wooden box that holds the carrots. They both squat down in front of the wooden box.
So, what you want to do is grab the whole vegetable, not just the green part.
Okay.
Sean takes the moment to study the box, trying to figure out where to put his hand.
Here.
Greg takes Sean's hand and places it on the carrot in the ground and then lets go on his hand.
Oh, okay.
Now twist and pull.
Sean listens to Greg and pulls the carrot from the ground.
Nice! There you go.
Wow, this is really cool.
Thank you. Yes, there is something about it.
I feel like I could lose track of time up here.
Yeah, I totally have.
Greg looks down at Sean's hands.
I was right.
About what?
Dirt does look good on you.
Sean and Greg look at each other. Sean leans in to kiss Greg. They kiss for a few moments before Sean pulls away.
Should we pull some more?
Yeah, we should.
Sean and Greg continue pulling up carrots until they have a full basket.
Where does the food from this garden go?
I normally drop it off at the cafeteria. They either decide to use it or the workers take it home to their families.
Do you ever take anything home?
Sometimes, yes.
But you never brought me something from the garden.
You hate vegetables.
Do you grow herbs?
Yeah. Why? Do you want me to bring you herbs?
No. I was just curious. My mom brought this new herb arrow garden that she saw off Instagram. It's supposed to grow them 6 times faster or something.
Well, look who has a green thumb now. Maybe you should bring me some herbs.
Oh, let's wait to see if it works first. My mom has only ever bought clothes and purses from Instagram ads, so I'm not holding my breath that this is going to work.
Greg and Sean finish pulling the carrots and they stand up facing each other.
Yeah. I don't get the whole Instagram ads thing.
Well, that's because you refuse to get any social media platforms.
I just don't want to be connected to technology.
Social media can have its perks.
Like,
It's a way to stay connected to people if they live in a different state. Maybe next year, when you go to college, you might want to get one.
I feel like this isn't about social media anymore.
Just think about it.
Think about what?
Getting social media next year.
I'm not sure.
Sean decides to change the subject.
Well, what do you think about me taking care of the garden next year?
What?
Well, yeah, I'm just a junior, and you can spend the rest of the year teaching me how to do everything, but I think I could do it.
I'm not sure.
Why not?
This garden means a lot to me, and up until right now, I'm not sure you have even touched dirt.
Oh, well, look, it's important to you, so it's important to me. You are important to me.
You are important to me too. But what if something happens between us? What if we...
Break up?
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen next year, next month, or even tomorrow, but I know that you aren't going to find someone else that will be able to take care for this garden better than me after you teach me how to do it, of course.
Okay, but it's gonna be a lot of work.
I can do it, and I can even FaceTime you and show you the process.
I've never used FaceTime.
I'll show you.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I can't believe I just said that.
Hey, I may be small with weird hair, but I am very effective.
They laugh. Greg pulls Sean into a hug.
Seriously though, I'm going to miss you.
I'm going to miss you too. But let's just make the most of the rest of the school year. We still have homecoming, prom, and a lot of parties to go to.
Yeah, and I have to teach you how to garden.
And I will teach you how to FaceTime and all about Instagram.
Let's take these baskets downstairs so we can get out of here.
Okay.
Greg and Sean pick up the baskets and carry them off stage. Blackout. The end. Wow, thank you, Ruth. And thank you, Justin and Wayne, for being with us tonight. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Moving on to our next one. Before we start, just one more quick shout out to our wonderful patrons. If you want to be shouted out on the next Quarantine Quarters, become a patron. Link is in the comments. But seriously, thank you so much to Katie Schwebka, Ryan Schlia, Wayne Conover, Sean Cheeky, Leslie Cairns, Sarah Henderson, Zoe Curiazis, and Deanna Hariluck. Sorry, Deanna, I messed up your first name and not your last name. Can you even believe it? Okay, so we're on to the next play by Kelly Booth. And Layla, you're here. Great.
I am. So I'll be reading the stage directions for Kelly Booth's No Justice, No Peace. And we're good and unmuted. We are. Okay, I'm going to get started. Lights up on a beautiful community garden in the downtown area of Atlanta, Georgia. It is a spot of sanctuary amidst the hustle and bustle of ordinary city life. In the background are sounds of a peaceful protest taking place nearby. A speaker can be heard faintly with occasional crowd responses such as No Justice, No Peace, Black Lives Matter, I Can't Breathe, and others. At Rise, Ava is being helped into the garden by her girlfriend Raina. She is struggling to stand and walk. Both girls wear face masks and carry protest signs, which they set on the ground as Raina helps Ava sit down on a bench.
Here's some shade. Sit here, babe. Now take this off and just breathe.
She removes Ava's face mask and then her own.
Much better. Deep breaths in and out, okay?
Ava nods, clammy and shaken.
I'm sorry. I'm so...
Ava, stop. No sorry necessary. Relax and breathe.
She takes a water bottle out of her backpack.
Here, drink some of this.
Ava receives the bottle with shaky hands and sips the water. Raina wipes the sweat from her brow and watches, very concerned, and holds her hand.
Now, good. Now just breathe. In and out. Good.
Thank you.
Ava holds her hands tightly.
I don't know what I would have done if you weren't there to catch me.
Well, you won't ever have to wonder because I love you. And I will always be there to catch you. It's what I signed up for.
Well, I'm very lucky you did.
Ava leans forward and they kiss.
The time for that is later. Now, we need to check your blood sugar and get you back to feeling all right.
Okay, but I'm holding you to it for later.
Consider it a date.
Ava pulls out a small diabetic testing kit from her little purse hanging at her side and pulls out a lancet needle and testing strip meter. Raina watches her closely, ready to assist if needed.
Got it? You're a bit shaky there with that needle.
I know. I think I'm fine.
Well, I know you're fine.
Not half as fine as you, my love.
Okay, well, pay attention to what you're doing before you stab me with that.
Ava completes her testing and the meter beeps the results.
Low, just as I figured.
I knew you shouldn't have left the house without eating breakfast. That always spells disaster.
No, I'm sorry. I just wanted to get the letters on my sign just right. I was preoccupied and it took my mind.
Luckily, you have a woman who loves you and looks out for you.
Raina smiles and produces an apple from her backpack.
Oh, you are the best. The absolute best. Thank you.
Someone has to keep up with you, little Miss Forgetful.
And you don't know how grateful I am.
Ava kisses her again.
Good. Now, eat up so that we can get you nice and feeling better.
Ava bites into the apple.
I'm sorry, babe. I always forget the important thing.
No, you just, forget to take care of you. You get so wrapped up and passionate about everything going on around you that you neglect to take care of yourself.
I know.
But that passion is what I love most about you. You're always ready to march for justice and to stand up for what's right. So if once in a while I have to remind you to eat or take your meds, it's all good. We're in this together. Remember? Partners for life.
I love you, Raina.
I love you too.
Ava continues to eat while Raina watches over her like a mother hen.
Feeling much better.
Good.
Their attention is drawn by the announcement of a new speaker.
Hey, we need to get back there. John Lewis is finally up. We've been waiting all afternoon to hear him speak.
Ava starts to get up but isn't quite ready and sinks back into her seat.
Whoa, you just keep yourself right there on this bench. We are not going anywhere just yet, Missy.
No, but there's no way we are going to be able to hear from here.
So we just won't hear. Your health is much more important to me than hearing anyone speak.
No. Raina, you've waited your entire lifetime to hear this man speak. This may be your one and only chance.
I Don't hear of it. Stop.
Raina, I am fine. I will sit here for a little while my numbers go up, and then I'll meet you right back where we were. I'm serious. Get your butt up off this bench and go. Please, I'll never forgive myself if you don't.
Well, are you sure you're okay?
I'm fine, I swear.
Raina hesitates.
If you don't go listen to that man speak, I'm going to pick you up and carry you over there myself.
I'd love to see you try.
And strong. Now go!
Okay, I'll be right back as soon as he's done.
Go, 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 run! I don't want you to miss a word.
Raina is scooting away to the protest while putting on her mask.
I love you!
I love you too. Man, how did I ever get so freaking lucky?
Ava looks to the sky.
Thank you. Thank you sincerely. That woman is the best thing to ever happen in my life.
Ava continues to eat her apple and drink her water while listening to the far-off sounds of the speaker. She's trying to make out what is being said and is concentrating heavily. She doesn't even notice as Brenna, a counter-protester, enters the garden with her sign. She is not wearing a mask and carries an All Lives Matter sign.
Excuse me? Can I sit here?
Ava notices and immediately puts her mask back on and moves to the far end of the bench.
Sure. I'll just scoot down here.
Oh, you don't have to move.
Well, yeah, I kind of do. No mask and all.
Oh, come on. You don't believe in that corona bullcrap, do you? We're young. It's not going to affect us.
Well, maybe it's that simple for you, but for me, not so much.
Okay, then. I'll just stay down here.
Brenna sits on the farthest edge of the bench as possible.
This okay?
Sure. Thanks.
No problem.
A long pause. Ava goes back to listening to John Lewis speak. We tune in just in time to hear the following.
Freedom is not a state, it is an act. It is not some enchanted garden perched high on a distant plateau where we can finally sit down and rest. Freedom is the continuous action we all must take, and each generation must do its part to create an even more fair, more just society.
The crowd bursts into applause and cheers. Ava joins in from where she is, clapping and cheering, while Brenna watches her with a judgmental stare.
Well, I guess I can see what side you're on.
Side? What is that supposed to mean? I'm on the side of a just world, where everyone is treated equally and fairly, and we all have the same rights, freedoms, and opportunities, regardless of the color of our skin.
That's what I'm saying. All lives matter.
No. All lives do not matter until Black lives matter.
Black people are just as free as we are.
Are they? Are they really?
Slavery was abolished a long time ago.
But really, was it? Or has it just turned into something else?
What?
Decades of segregation, systemic racism, and oppression. Black people never being given the opportunity to achieve and get ahead in life because the system is simply rigged against them.
Okay, that's crap. Nothing is rigged against anyone in this country. If you want something, you have to work for it. It's that simple.
Is it? Is it really?
Hell yeah. This is the United States, the land of opportunity.
Opportunity for some, not others.
Well, that's where we're going to disagree. Sorry.
Do you own your own home?
That's personal. But yes, I do.
When you look around your neighborhood, how many families of color do you see in that same situation?
Well, I don't know. There aren't really any in my area, I don't think.
Exactly. Do you know why? After World War II, federal policies literally stated that the very presence of a Black resident in a neighborhood reduced the value of the homes there.
I don't follow.
They literally wrote it into law that your house was worth less because of the color of the skin of your neighbors. People of color were denied loans and mortgages and still are to this day.
I don't believe it.
Well, it's the truth, whether you acknowledge it or not. The average black household was worth $17,000 in 2016. 2016, 4 years ago. But in that same year, the average white household was worth 10 times that. The discrimination is staggering. Ever do drugs in your youth?
Smoked a little Mary Jane in college, but that's it.
Ever known anyone to go to prison for it?
This one guy in college was arrested for possession of cocaine. Got a slap on the wrist and a few years of probation.
White?
Excuse me?
Was his skin white?
Yes, but I don't see what that has to do with anything.
If he was black, he'd still be in prison.
I doubt that.
It's true. Open your eyes. Read, learn, study the war on drugs. Ronald Reagan doubled down on policies that sent poor black individuals to prison for decades for being addicted to crack, while whites with money got a slap on the wrist that your friend got for possession of cocaine. How can anyone possibly be expected to succeed when the system is designed for your failure?
I don't really think.
No, I really don't think you do. Ever been pulled over for a traffic stop?
Once or twice.
While you waited for the officer by the side of the road, were you scared for your life? Were you afraid you might die from your encounter with the police?
Well, of course not. It was just a traffic ticket.
Philando Castile was pulled over for a traffic ticket and shot to death by police in front of his girlfriend and his 4-year-old daughter. Does that sound like any traffic stop you have ever experienced?
No.
That's right, no. And you probably never will. For one reason and one reason only. You are a white American. Period. End of story. I could go on and on forever. The neighborhoods black people live in are full of pollution more so than other neighborhoods. Nutritious foods are less available and affordable, which leaves black families more vulnerable to sickness and disease. Need I go on? Can you not see what I am saying here?
I see. I see.
And I've barely gotten started on police brutality. Do you even know why we're holding this protest today?
No, I don't.
Because George Floyd, an unarmed 47-year-old black American man, was killed while a police officer kneeled on his neck for over 8 minutes until he could not breathe and died. Died right there on the pavement. Died for allegedly passing a $20 counterfeit bill. He told the officers over and over again, "I can't breathe." But nobody listened. He cried out for his mother, but nobody listened. Now it's up to us to be his voice. The voice of all Black Americans who have been victims of police brutality. We must stand up and say no more. We must make them understand that Black lives matter. For George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and Botham Jean, to quote an amazing man who is speaking at this very moment up there in the square, if you see something that is not right, not fair, not just, you have a moral obligation to do something about it. And someday, hopefully in the not too distant future, when we as a country actively accept and live by the statement that Black lives matter, then and only then will all lives matter. Not before, not until.
Silence as Ava collects herself after her speech. She is obviously feeling better now.
And now, if you'll excuse me, I have to meet.
Raina comes up behind her and throws her arms around her.
Hi, baby. Feeling any better?
Ava is startled.
Hey, babe, I was just on my way up to meet you. Is John Lewis still speaking?
Just finished. There is a group from Hamilton singing and getting the crowd ready, but then we'll just be in time for the march downtown.
I love that show. Geniuses, lower your voices. If you keep out of trouble, then double your choices. I'm with you, but the situation is fraught. You've got to be carefully taught.
Raina rolls her eyes.
Don't quit your day job, okay? If we hurry, we can catch up with the others. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were talking to a friend. Hi, I'm Raina, Ava's girlfriend.
Hi, I'm Brenna. Ava and we actually just met.
Oh, nice. She is quite the social butterfly, my girl. And inspiring performer, as you just saw.
Raina grabs her hand.
Well, we are going to join the Black Lives Matter march. You want to come with?
Ray, I don't think she'd really be interested in joining us.
Don't be rude. Care to join?
I actually, yes.
Yes?
Yes. Ava here has opened my eyes to a lot of things this afternoon. She's an amazing person.
Raina smiling and kisses her on the cheek.
Well, I certainly think so. Well, let's get going. Do you have a sign?
Well, not really one that would work.
Brenna sheepishly shows Raina her sign.
No matter. We can fix it.
Raina pulls a thick marker out of her bag and flips over Brenna's sign.
My sign says, no justice, no peace. Spelled M-O. Yours is going to say, no justice, no peace. Spelled K-N-O-W. Because now you know.
I like that. Thank you. Thank you both.
Thank you for listening.
There is a silence, a moment of healing.
Well, as John Lewis once said, we may not have chosen the time, but the time has chosen us. Let's get out of here and make our voices heard.
She reaches into her bag and produces a mask for Brenna.
Here, you'll need this.
Thanks.
Ready, go!
The three head towards the square. No justice, no peace. No justice,
No justice,
no peace.
no peace.
And that's the end. Thank you so much, y'all. That was really great to listen to and hear. And now we're going to be going on to our final reading for tonight.
Yes, that's going to be Garden Gnomes by Serena Noor. We're really excited to have Katarina playing Libby and Wayne playing Grayson. Special shout to everybody in that last piece too. Thank you so much for joining us. I know that was it was a very prominent piece for right now, and we really hope that y'all enjoyed that. So let's hop into this very last one. Let me just Kat, if you can unmute yourself, and then we have Wayne.
Yep. Sorry about that.
You're all good. Okay, so at Rise, Libby's dirty blonde hair is tied back in a ponytail. She's wearing loose jeans and a t-shirt which is covered in dirt. She's kneeling down on the ground, pulling out weeds. Grayson is hovering over.
See, there's nothing to it. Now grab those weeds over there and plop them in that bin. I'm going to use that pile for the compost.
Grayson kneels down and pulls out a handful, but not nearly enough.
These suckers don't seem to want to come out.
Oh, they'll come out. You just have to give them a good tug.
Libby demonstrates again.
See, like this. Pull real hard.
Grayson tries again and gets some of the weeds.
Look at that. I did it.
You get easily excited, huh? First time doing hard work will do that to you.
I've done hard work before.
Doing what exactly?
I helped my mom stuff envelopes for a campaign, and I mow the lawn.
What a hard life you have.
Libby points to the weeds.
Come on, you gotta grab way more than that. We're going to be here all day at this rate.
Oh, my mom is picking me up in an hour?
Of course she is. And then you'll be off and done with your community service. How simple life must be for you.
I was told I only had to do 2 hours today.
We need to put more time into the community garden, a garden that helps to feed the Tasting Table food pantry, no less.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
How could you? You know, you're not the first poor little rich I've had to deal with, and you certainly won't be the last. Look at these butterflies. This tail's doing so well this season.
That doesn't look like kale.
Libby opens her purse and takes out a needle. She gently uses the needle to open the kale pods.
Those are the seeds. They're going to be ready for planting by the end of the season.
That's really something. How it grows from those little seeds?
It's incredible, all right? Makes you think twice about taking the magic of nature for granted.
You know, I'm sorry. I don't know if Principal Wainwright told you this or whatever, but I'm really sorry for what I did. What I did to your gnomes.
Oh my no. What does sorry even mean anymore? I think you mean you're sorry that you got caught, because if you didn't, well, you would do it again. And then your mommy would come to the rescue with her overflowing pocketbook. You know, she offered the school $10,000 to cover this up. Thankfully, Wainwright has some sort of backbone and turned her down. So, here we are. Now, you're my problem.
That's low, even for her. But I didn't realize she did that. You have to believe me.
How could you realize anything? If it wasn't for your name, you would have been arrested.
I'm not a bad person. I just messed up, okay? Sometimes people mess up, and I get it. I'm not like those other poor rich boys or whatever. I do feel bad. I felt bad the second I did it, but it's not like I could turn back time and unsmash them. I'm such a shit. Seriously, I'm really sorry.
When you talk, I just want to punch you. Not everyone has a mommy who can bail them out, that can set them up with plus community service jobs that will get you to never think about it again.
You don't know that. I like this. Pulling weeds and learning about the garden. It's actually kind of nice.
Oh, it's magical. I love coming here and just meeting my plants alone, at ease. I've been here almost every day since my divorce.
Libby opens her purse and pulls out some apples.
Let's recharge our brains.
Libby hands the apples to him.
Apples can do that?
Grayson takes a bite.
Wow, this is good. I've missed out on so much.
You're quite peculiar, but I guess we all are. Some are just better at hiding it.
I'm not like my mom or whatever you might think. I know that I've been given everything my whole life, and I get that I'm privileged or whatever, but it's been really hard for me to figure out how to break out of this mold.
So you had to take out your anger on the garden? What the hell was that supposed to prove?
Nothing, I guess. But I was so mad. Mad about not getting into college she wanted me to go to. Mad about my dad never being around. Mad about being so basic. I've seen you around or whatever, always talking about gnomes, and it got me. Got me so mad. Like, I thought you were crazy or something, so I got drunk and just had at it, whacking away and destroying everything in my path.
Even crazy people have feelings.
You're not crazy. I'm the crazy one.
Well, I mean, we all kind of are. You just have to learn how to channel it. But the gnomes, all my poor gnomes. I've been collecting them since 1991, before your stupid punk ass was even born.
Shit. I'm so sorry.
And they protected the garden with me. Watched over everything when I wasn't here, and now they're nothing. Just broken pieces that can never be pieced together.
I'm sorry. I can get you more gnomes, even more than what you had before.
Oh, it just wouldn't be the same. These little men were everything to me. When I got divorced, I thought my life was over. But it turns out the gnomes, this is going to sound stupid to you, but these gnomes saved me. I like their eyes looking at me and being with me, and when I was all alone in the garden, it was like they were alive or something. I guess I am a crazy plant lady.
I'm such an asshole.
I miss Melvin the most.
Melvin?
He's the one I got in Amsterdam. He had brown hair and the yellow hat. He was my favorite. So, I would never tell the others that. I loved them all, but Melvin was really my favorite. Oh, I miss him so much.
Oh, I thought they were stupid. Stupid gnomes you find at Home Depot or something. I didn't realize they actually meant something.
It must be horrible to walk around with that much anger and hate. I feel bad for you, because even though you took away my gnomes, my precious gnomes, I still have my garden. You can't take that away from me. Everything will continue to grow and flourish and sprout. You can't break living things that easily.
I would never do that again, or ruin your garden. It's so nice here. So quiet.
Grayson goes back to pulling weeds.
That's a little better. Maybe there's some hope for you yet. Oh, hey, say, you know, it doesn't really matter what college you go to. I mean, your parents will tell you differently, but all that worrying when you're only 18 doesn't really do anything to make a future. Hell, I went to college to be a doctor, and look at me now.
I'm 17, but yeah, I'm so sick of it all. All the pressure, all the rules. And now my mom is running for office again, and everything has to be so...
Perfect. Fuck perfect.
Yeah, fuck perfect. Too bad it's easier said than done.
You know, the corpse flower is considered one of the ugliest plants, but it's also the most beautiful. It actually wears its rotting corpse on the outside, like some people.
Rotting on the outside? Wow, plants are cool.
You have no idea how cool plants are. And the Welwitschia plant can live up to 1 million years. Oh, the stories they could tell.
How did you learn all this stuff?
The information is all out there. It's just up to us to want to learn it.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Like, I never learned any of this in school.
And you never will. Maybe this is a hard maybe. Maybe there's hope for you. Yes.
I hope so. I don't want to walk around with this pit of anger anymore.
It only hardens the soul. You know, Melvin helped me melt away my anger a long time ago. And now I just feel so free.
That sounds amazing. To be free. To be happy.
Happiness takes work, but you might be able to achieve it if you stop caring what people think. Hey, why don't you come by tomorrow? I need help with these weeds, and I can even teach you how to plant.
Oh, I have a tennis lesson tomorrow, but maybe another day?
course you do. Well, I mean, you know where to find me.
I'm sorry again about ruining that gnome. Melvin and the others.
Funny thing is, I actually believe you this time.
Libby and Grayson go back to their respective gardening tasks. Libby looks over at Grayson and smiles as he pulls the weeds with more strength and gusto. The end. All right. Well, that was all she wrote, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today for our quarantine quarters. Just a reminder, we did put a bunch of links in the comments to a bunch of new opportunities. And if you want to be an actor or a writer for the quarantine quarters, just email us at greenbuffaloproductions@gmail.com and we'll be more than happy to have you. Thank you to all of our wonderful actors today who came and joined us. And thank you to all of our wonderful writers that sent us in work. If you want to become a Patreon as well, if you like what we're doing or want to see us do more, we just hit our first goal on Patreon today. So we're looking to do even more and be even more. And if you want to be part of it, once again, every little bit helps. And we'll be happy to shout you out at all of our stuff from here on out, you know. But that's it from me. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next time.